Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about still and no longer. Still versus no longer. Sometimes student may have some confusion. Let's start with still. We use still to show that something continues up to a time in the past, present, or future. It goes in front of the main verb. For example, even when my father was 65, he still enjoyed playing tennis. So that means my father used to enjoy playing tennis, but he still enjoyed playing tennis. That means he continued enjoying to play tennis. Example number 2. It's past midnight, but she's still doing her homework. So that means she started doing her homework before midnight. But it passed midnight, but she still is like she continues doing her homework. So the action keep continuing. Example number 3. I won't be at work next week. We'll still be on a holiday. So that means by next week we will be continuing on a holiday. So I'm not gonna be available. So we can also use the word still after the present simple or the past simple of be. Her grandfather has been very ill, but he's still alive. Even he's very ill, but he's still alive. So he's still living. He's not dead yet. We tried to help them, but they were still unhappy. Even all the effort we're trying to do to help them, but they were still unhappy. No longer. We use no longer to show the idea of something stopping in the past, present, or future. It goes in front of the main verb. So you can see when we were using still, it was for something that continues up, but now for no longer, we use it to show the idea of something stopping in the past. Continue, stop. So they are opposite. Example. At that moment, I realized that I no longer loved him. So it's like I used to love him, but I no longer loved him. So that means the feeling that I had stopped by that time. We no longer live in England. We moved to France. So that means we used to live in England, but we no longer live in England. We moved from England to France. We no longer live there. Example number 3. From midnight tonight, Mr. Jones will no longer be the president. So they are talking about in the future something that will be happening that will be stopped being. So that means it's in the future time they are talking, but they will talk at a certain moment something that will stop happening, not stop being that person. For example, they said from midnight to night, they're not at the time, they are talking in the future, but from that point, Mr. Jones will no longer be the president. He used to be the president, but he will be no longer the president. So we also use no longer after the present simple or the past simple of be. Example. Sadly, Andrew and Bradley are no longer friends. They had an argument. They used to be good friends. They used to be friends in the past, but they are no longer friends. The last example, it was no longer safe to stay in the country. We had to leave immediately. It used to be safe, the country, but it was no longer safe to stay in the country. We had to leave immediately. So that's all for today. I hope that I did clarify the request regarding the use of still and no longer. So guys, again, thank you very much for visiting my channel. Please subscribe and activate the bell icon so in the future you won't miss any of my videos. Thank you very much.